Thank you for joining me today. It's March 18th, 2021, and I'm going to be doing a reading that can be used generally for everyone watching right now. And hopefully it will give you some guidance, oh boy, on what you can expect for the day and in the rest of the week. Now, the first two cards that popped out really quick show me that, you know, this is the vibe I'm getting just when I talk to people, that everyone seems to be experiencing a tower moment. Here's your beautiful tower card. I'll share the deck with you. This is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann, and it's quite a beautiful deck. Can you see the tower there? Hi, that's me. So your tower is coming down, and you're going to have to accept that if you want to move forward. Now, when we get the tower, it can be very sudden. It can also be quite an emotional time for the person enduring the situation that's falling apart, and trying to manage all the emotions that come with that. Now, I also see a lot of communication and love. There's an Ace of Cups here and a Three of Cups. So you're going to be looking for your soul tribe. That's what's going to help you with this, is you're going to need to really evaluate what you've lost here. Have you lost anything that you needed in the first place? Or are you just losing what no longer serves you? Spirit guides, please help me understand how to assist with this tower coming down. All right. Justice. Yeah, okay. So what we've got here, now I do my readings a little bit differently. They're completely guided, and even the placement of the cards is something that I arrange with guidance. So the main issue you're facing right now is your tower coming down. So if you've never had a tower come down before, typically when the tower's on its way down, it's sudden, but sometimes we do anticipate it a little bit, because if we're paying attention, we know the things that are about to come to an end. If we're paying attention, we can see cycles ending. And so here in your tower card, typically it comes by surprise, but it might be something that you already knew was ending. So it might not be a big surprise for you. Now, what we see next is that, I like this. We definitely see some options for how you're going to proceed with this. Now, I think what I'm seeing here is that at first you're going to have to grieve this. You're going to have to look at it and evaluate if you're going to go forward into the unfamiliar, or if you're going to go ahead and be led backwards. So in the Six of Swords, we have come past something big, and now we're sitting in the emotional soup, trying to figure out what we're going to do with what we have just endured. Now, the nice thing about the Six of Swords is that you are in control, whether or not it feels like it or not. You can decide which way to go. You can either go forward into the unknown, or you can run back trying to catch any pieces of that tower that may be left behind. Now, if you go that route, you're going to get dragged down the next path anyway, because you're going to be forced to look at, you're going to have to evaluate this. So as you see, the Six of Swords here is sitting next to the Justice card. So when you have these two together, you really are trying to understand the collapse of that tower. It really is something that you're thinking about. Why did this happen? What does this show me about who I am? What can I understand about myself from this experience? Now that the tower has fallen and I'm left to pick up whatever pieces I can, and do I need any of those pieces? Are those pieces serving me? It's interesting because I had pulled 3 cards before the reading to get myself centered, and one of the cards I pulled was spaciousness, which says here that, what do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things draining my vital essence. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. So really, this tower coming down for you just created a bunch of room. As you can see, you got some spaciousness. This has to go. Whatever was here, it was time for it to leave. You're being asked to create space. So we'll leave spaciousness there. The other 2 cards I pulled for getting myself centered today was intuition. And this is the William Blake Tarot, the 9 of Paintings, which is the 9 of Wands. So what you're being asked to do, instead of dwelling on the Tower card that has fallen here, you are really being guided to evaluate if what's gone actually served you in the first place at all. And, you know, Spirit doesn't take things from us. It's not a punishment. You know, life isn't a punishment. It is truly, that's my kitty, it's truly an experience designed to teach you who you are. And so you're getting that opportunity, my friends. Now, what do we have here? Below that, we received the Ace of Cups and the 3 of Cups. So these 2 cards I really enjoy, because the Ace of Cups signals a beginning in your expression of yourself. So it's based in the feminine energy coming through and bringing you to a new place. It could be a new relationship. It could be the beginning of your relationship of self-love. It could be the beginning of a relationship with another person. And maybe that's why the Tower had to go, folks, because this is on its way. So that's very exciting. And again, it might not necessarily be another person. It could just be the deepening of your relationship with yourself. But it could be a new relationship. It definitely could be a new relationship. Now, the 3 of Cups here is coming through to really remind us that we are in control of who we decide to collaborate with. Who are your people? Who is your soul tribe? You know, look at these chicks. They're just hanging out with each other. They are like-minded. They may challenge each other, but also they always have each other's backs with respect to the real source of love, the real vibration of love, which is unconditional, which is as is, which never tries to force or impose. It is freely as is love. You are going to find these people. So the Tower coming down is hopefully seeming like good news now. Now, what we see next is really exciting here, in that we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the 10 of Cups. So, wow, this is just beautiful, because the Wheel of Fortune is trying to encourage you to see that this is all part of the process. What you're going through, this Tower falling, these moments where you're going to have to evaluate things without judgment, please, evaluating your past experiences to grow from them with a curious eye, not a judgmental eye. We don't need any more judgments on ourselves, right, guys? Once you come through that, You're going to start something new. You're going to start to attract people that can really, really be your conscious collaborators. And you're going to spin this wheel. You might be on the beginning of an end cycle. The beginning of an end cycle. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that you might be beginning a new cycle. I think you are beginning a new cycle. You've got a tower falling. You've got the evaluation. You've got the new soul tribe and potentially a new relationship that could be quite intimate. It might be a self-discovery relationship, or it might be a relationship with another person. And you're definitely being asked to see this as part of the process. All right? So don't get too upset. The universe is never about punishment. There's this funny idea that karma is punishment. Karma is not punishment. It's just stuff that you didn't learn yet. And maybe you got close to learning it, but then you got scared and you ran the other way, which is always up to us, right? We have free will. We don't have to participate in things if we don't want to. But certainly the universe is always going to try and send you down the path of your greater good, even if at first that path seems uncomfortable, unfamiliar, and maybe full of change, right? But the idea is, that's the process. That's why we came. That's why we're here. We're here to spin this and keep moving. Sometimes our definition of stability keeps us in a position of stagnation. And this is saying, no, there will be no stagnation for you. And the beautiful thing at the end of this that just makes me so happy to see for you is the 10 of Cups. So I'm going to pull some oracle cards next, but for tarot, your path looks really good. I mean, if you lay it out, I always choose my own layouts, but if you lay it out even linear, this path is not terrible. You've got some struggles. You are experiencing change. The Tower card for sure is sending really, really attached to, that's not going to help you go with the flow. You're going to feel like if things aren't exactly how you wanted them to be, yeah. If you do that, guys, you're going to end up in a place of this situation, right? This 8 of Swords is a warning card. You know, like if you go into this situation with your expectations locked and your outcome fixed and resisting change, this Tower card is going to not feel great. And you're going to end up going beyond the 6 of Swords into the 8 of Swords where really you're suffering. And you're suffering because you knew it. You knew all along the tower was falling and you didn't pay attention, or you decided to resist it. And as a result, you are in a state of self-judgment. You are in a state of potentially some really negative self-talk where you're not very happy with yourself because maybe you resisted the change. Maybe you went back to something even though it was over. It was over. It's done. It's done and it's gone. And the Tower card has come to tell you to let it go. And when you do your evaluation of it here, if you come up fearful, you may go back to whatever fell apart and rebuild it. That's not going to serve you, my friend. I keep wanting to call you Capricorn, but this is for everybody right now. The whole world is changing, guys. Everything is changing. If we resist the change, we will suffer. We have to be adaptable. We have to be adaptable. We might have to move. We might. Things are happening for you. Things are happening for everyone on the planet right now. You know? And so this is quite a nice reading of encouragement to stay free of judgment, free of resistance, stay adaptable. And I just want to see what was on the bottom. And keep moving forward without judgment. Okay. I would like to pull an oracle card for you. Let's use this. I received this deck as a gift from a good friend of mine. It is the Angel Guide Oracle deck by Kyle Gray, and it is quite a beautiful deck. So let's get some guidance from our angels. I always feel surrounded by Archangel Michael. Maybe Archangel Michael will have a message for anybody watching who is experiencing change at a very sudden and accelerated pace. Someone who is being asked to make room for the new. Someone who is being asked to trust their, so many messages. Someone who's being asked to trust their intuition and to release themselves from all that no longer serves. Time to release, guys. Now, what did we get here? Oh, very beautiful messages. Strength and guidance. Listen deeply. And honesty and communication. Okay? So, let's have a look and see the oracle messages from this pull for you here. Honesty and communication. I mean, I think that speaks for itself, but I would like to read you the message. You are being given the opportunity to speak your truth. You have reached a point on your journey where you must be honest with yourself and all those around you. If you are looking to hold anything in, or you feel that you need to share something in order to feel free, know that your angel guide is encouraging you to act on this now. Now, honesty and communication is interesting because when you come from a place of true self-knowledge, you don't need to get angry to be speaking your truth, right? If you're still feeling triggered, if you're still feeling defensive, if you're still feeling like the only way to make your point is in a way that might not have control, then you might need to step back and get yourself clear before you start speaking to people about what it is you want to talk about. Yeah, like if you feel like a person or a situation is making you lose a sense of yourself or drawing you away from your joy, it's time to speak up. But I'm also sensing, like that's what the card is saying, but I'm also sensing that there's an important piece here to remember that if you're easy to anger, you're easy to manipulate. So we need to be able to discuss our opinions and speak our truth in a way that is not defensive. You don't need to be defensive because you don't need to defend yourself. If you feel like you need to defend yourself, it's an opportunity to ask yourself, what is this interaction teaching me about myself? Am I really solid about my beliefs? Am I looking for external validation? Why am I getting so upset? Just being honest in my communication. So there's something there on top of the message that's saying, if you feel like you can't make your point without getting defensive or feeling like the temperature go up on the inside, you know, I always experience frustration as heat. And when I get frustrated, I get hot. My insides start to get really hot. So for me, it's about heat. And sometimes I feel a slight shaking. I feel a little bit of a tremor. So I know that about myself now. So when I start to feel like that, my first thing is usually to end the conversation that I'm having and sit with myself to understand why I got so triggered by that. Why was that so triggering? So you might need to do that too. It's just a little extra information that was coming through. Now, the next card you got here is Strength and Guidance. Okay. So strength and guidance, I mean, without even looking at the book, again, sort of speaks for itself. You are being guided. That is for sure. We all are. We all have angels. I was just talking to someone in a reading yesterday, a private reading, excuse me, and I kept saying, you know, the angels, they're not here to screw with you, because she kept saying, oh, everything's fucking with me, and You know, I'm not a fan of this. I don't like being manipulated. And I'm like, you're not really being manipulated, but you are being flicked. There's little gentle flicks that are happening to push you to the right path. And I said, I can almost see the angels flicking you, and they're sort of like got one hand flicking and the other hand on their eye going, oh, you know, I just want her to get back on the right path. I have to flick her in the opposite direction, just gently, little flick, flick, flick. And that could be where your Tower card is coming down, right? Like the Tower could be coming down because you weren't going to walk away. And so the message here says, don't underestimate the power of your soul. You are strong and resilient and have the capacity to rise above any challenge. Okay? Divine intervention is taking place at this time. Whatever is occurring in your life is providing a real learning curve for your soul. You are becoming more and more aware of what will lead to your fulfillment, your purpose, and where you will experience joy. Angels are encouraging you to dig deep and hold your station. If you are wondering what is the next step, know that it will be revealed in due course. So you are being guided here, you know, and sometimes I think we are all alone, but we're really not. And not in a creepy way, but we're all connected. So there's that. So you're never alone because we're all connected to each other. And then B, there's beings, there's spiritual beings that are rooting for you, that are waiting for you to call them in. They are standing by, waiting for you to call them in. They want you to call them in. They want you to ask them to help you. So they are there, they are guiding you. But on top of that, you're also quite strong. We all are. We're much stronger than we give ourselves credit for. And, you know, unfortunately, sometimes we get locked into cycles of judgment. So then when we're in judgment, we can't really see the truth about anything, can we? Because all we see is that we aren't enough and that we failed and that if only I had and oh, I wish I had, or what if this, blah, blah, blah. It's over. We just got right now. So whatever you can take from and learn, realize that life is a metaphor and that you can't really, you know, you really can't take it all that serious. You know, you got to take it serious. I'm not trying to insinuate that life in itself isn't serious, but you know what? I really feel like we take it too serious sometimes. Anyway, listen deeply. That is your last angel card message. Listen deeply to me suggests that you need to listen to that intuition, right? We got an intuition card that I pulled before. I turned the camera on. It's right here. I think I need to move the camera closer. There's your intuition card. This is the self-care deck, the Sacred Self-Care deck by Jill Pyle. It's a beautiful deck. So you got to listen to that intuition, right? The intuition is like the radio station that we have built in that helps you tune in to all of your guides, any angels that are watching, your ancestors, but also, you know, the ego sounds a lot like it too. So you got to make sure you know what you're tuning into, right? Are you tuning into your ego or are you tuning into your intuition? So listen deeply says angels are sending you guidance and inspiration through your powerful and resonant inner voice. Be ready to listen to that voice now. Listen to yourself. If you aren't able to hear yourself, you'll be blocking your connection to the information and insight and guidance that could be trying to like support you forward. So as the tower is crumbling, guys, remember, A, you're not alone. B, the tower is not falling apart because God hates you or the universe hates you or anybody hates you. It's because it's time. It's time for stuff to change, right? The wheel of fortune goes round and round. It's designed to keep us moving and learning and avoiding stagnation. So don't get too upset about this. Be just in your evaluation of the situation. Don't judge yourself. Don't get angry with God. Don't get angry with the person who the relationship ended with. Try and see that everything is happening to bring you to your greater, higher self. The part of you that is in unity. The part of you that is in unity with itself, not in duality, thinking us and them, and that you're alone. You're not alone. Some good stuff is on its way here. We got a beginning in love. We've got soul tribe connections. We've got the 10 of Cups. And we've got a warning here to say, you know, if you run back, if you try and rebuild the tower, you will realize the error of your ways. And it'll fall again. So to me, this card is loopy. I always think of the 8 of Swords as a loop. A decision and a communication loop where you know intuitively this isn't where you need to be anymore. So this is a warning, you know what I mean? Like, not a scary warning, but just like a, hey, heads up. If you try and rebuild the tower, it's going to come down again. You're done with whatever that tower signifies, and it's time to move on. And you're going to move on to something so beautiful in the 10 of Cups. Could be, to me, the 10 of Cups is like ultimate wish fulfillment. Like ultimate wish fulfillment. Whatever your wish is, it's here. It's cups. So I'm feeling love. I'm feeling the vibe of family. It could be your soul tribe family. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you're going to get married and have children. It could be you're going to get married and have children. It might be you're going to marry someone who has children. It might be that you have children and you're going to find the partner of your dreams that loves your children. I do see a very strong indication that your communication skills are going to be great. The King of Swords is a really good communicator, really good decision maker. This card always makes me think of travel, though. So a part of me thinks you might be taking a trip. Maybe you're moving. Maybe the tower collapsing was literally selling your home, and now you have to move to a new city or a new part of town. Could be a new job, you know, could be the job of your dreams, which is the 10 of Cups, suggesting that it's all wish fulfillment time. So ultimately, guys, this was a very nice reading. In terms of the messaging, I think is quite positive. And I feel like if you just resist resistance, you're going to be a-okay. And you're going to end up enjoying the process, potentially, because it's creating a new start. Very, very new stuff is coming to you here. I'm being guided to tell you to really, really consider the fact that curiosity is the key. Not too much seriousness. Definitely judgment, no. We don't want to judge anyone or ourselves, you guys. If you judge someone, then you truly are sitting in judgment of yourself. And that's not going to serve you. It's just going to hold you back. So if you start to judge yourself, if you start to criticize yourself, if you start to say, oh man, I'm such a fool. If only I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be in this situation where this tower is falling in the first place. It's all about learning. It's all about learning and self-discovery. So you know what? There's really nothing about it that you could do wrong, because it's all about trying to figure out who you are and trying to figure out why you're here. And really going with the flow is going to be your best. It's going to be your best bet. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. We'll see you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this first reading on YouTube by me. And hopefully we'll see you again. Okay, take care, guys.